Afternoon, everyone. I've been gone for a while, I know, but then my Wi-Fi has been giving me problems, so that's why I've been gone for a while. But then now I'm back until the next beef that I have with my Wi-Fi starts. And also, guys, Escom is a problem for us. If you're in South Africa, Escom is a problem. So that's why I've been off, but then trading is something that I've been doing quite well. I've been doing quite well for myself. So right now I'm trying to analyze for you guys and see what we have. Not for you guys only, for me as well. Because last night I cleaned my charts. I didn't analyze. I decided, you know what, I'll analyze today and upload this video. Probably right now I want to analyze gold and Bitcoin because I realized that Bitcoin has been selling lately and then it might buy, so I want to be in that type of investment when it comes up again. I'm not trying to like trade it. I'm trying to just buy and hold and then, just as an investment, not as a trading. So right now this is gold. This is gold. So as usual, guys, as usual, we have our but then I feel like the market has been doing the very same thing ever since I analyzed for you guys. We have our higher high here, we have our lowest low, which we broke. But then, of course, we've been in a bearish market. We all know this by now. So what we can expect from this is something like right now. I'm just speculating. I'm just looking at what's happening, and then we're looking at something like you know probably to these areas and continue to the downside, or maybe oh my god, I even forgot how to use these things. Or and retest this green line and go continue to the downside. So what we need to do is scale down to the daily time frame because that's where we need. As you can see, we have already tested this green line because this green line is just thin. But then if we create a zone like probably like this, we can come to terms with the fact that we have already uh, tested, we have already tested these areas. As you can see, it's analysis. Basically, we have broken this consolidation area, which is here. As you can see, we have broken this area and we've already retested the area. When we scroll to the downside, we might realize that, what, we retested with this doji we have here. But now, for me personally, this is not enough. As a retest, this is not enough. So I'll wait for it to come back again. Let me just scale down to the 1 hour. Well, as you can see, we have a pattern forming here. So you can just draw your consolidation area here and say, okay, the market will come back here and we continue to the downside, or it will come back and test this area because based on my rules, these long rejection weeks are not a good thing for me. It means there's a lot of volatility in the market. So the market might come back, not in a rush. What happened to my thing now? Come on. The market might come back in a more relaxed manner and give us something like this. Let me just clean this up. Give us something like, let me see if I can, no, I want to draw. Let me just remove this real quick. Can come back and give us something like, a sharp correction to these areas that we can, come back and draw and continue to the downside. You can use Fibonacci's if you want. For example, if I was to use a Fibonacci, probably start from here to there. And then you realize that this is our 0.3 area whereby the market did test, but then it gave us some long rejection weeks. So maybe we can wait for it to come back to these areas in a more calm and collected manner. For example, what I'm talking about is here. Let me show you guys. As you can see, this market came down here and it rejected in a more volatile way, and then it did come back once more and retested and went back up. So this is something that I'm waiting for, something similar to this, but then in a more bearish way instead of a bullish way. You see, we came down, we had this long rejection and went back up. Right? And then we came back in a more subtle and relaxed manner and gave us a double bottom and we went up again. So this is what I'm expecting in these areas. So for now, I can just put my, and remember guys, Mondays for me personally are not for trading, are just for observing the market. So this is something that I might look into. This is a trade I might look into entering. Let me see where I can put my TPs, or for TPs, we can basically still have a long way down, guys. We still have a long way. So if you haven't been in these trades, you can practically get something for yourself, man. And be happy, man. Have money. Money is quite important. When you have money, people respect you, people look up to you, so money is quite important to me. Online say love. For me, love is just a waste of time. So basically these areas valley, or you can just put it until here and say this is where we're heading. This is a bearish market with creating our lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. We are about to create another lower low. So that's what I'll be expecting from this. And now let me just scale in into gold. Let me scale in into gold. This is what I'm seeing. I don't know if you guys can see these, but I don't like that. How do I remove this? Remove. Yo, I so scaling up in the 1 hour. Let's just see. Is this Bitcoin? What's happening to Bitcoin, guys? $18,000. I think this ship is sinking, eh? So I'm gonna start in the one in the weekly because at this point there's no use for us to start in the weekly. I'll just start in the daily and just mark my points here, right? So this is my point here. This is like a high of high significance, and this is a low of high significance also. And judging from how the market has been moving, I'd say we're still going, but then this is a possible double bottom also, because we have our first bottom here. So this is quite an interesting place to be in the market because we can see this correction as a continuation, or this correction. This correction here can be a continuation, or this correction here can be a reversal correction. So this is definitely a key area. So what I'll do is instead of doing that, I'll just mark this area like this, to get more understanding on the market and how it's moving. And let me just clear that and then go to the 4 hours time frame. In the 4 hours, you can see that we have a double bottom basically. And I don't know if you guys know reversal patterns or things like that, but then for reversal patterns, our bearish reversal pattern is this, basically meaning that if a pattern is going to the upside, it's signifying a bearish impulse to the downside, and if it's impulsing like this, it's correcting like this to the downside, it's signifying a bullish impulse. But then sometimes, depending on how the market is moving, you need to understand how the market is moving because sometimes in the market we do have corrections like, for example, let me just move an impulse and then a correction like this. And most people will think, oh, this is a reversal pattern. But then because we're in a bearish market, it impulses down to the downside. So you need to understand the market and how it moves and the trend. That's why they say the trend is the most important part of analyzing, or maybe let's say chart work, because the moment you know the trend is the moment you know what to do in the market. So now, as you've seen, we are in a bearish market. So let's just move to the current structure right here. So for me, this is like, okay, we are in a bearish market and also we have this noise here. So basically, there's a lot of noise here for me, for my liking. But also I can see we have a lot of movements here, like this impulse or imbalance form of a candlestick, too long for my liking. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I've explained it before. And now let's just scale down to the 1 hour. I don't think I'm going to draw any trend lines here because I think they might just, the trend line I'll draw is this. So basically, this is a basic, patience, waiting for the market to confirm game. You just take your trend line here and you draw it like this, right? This is your trend line. This is your trend line. From where I'm coming from, this is my trend line. I can just put it like this, false breakout and all that. So now what I'm waiting for is the market to break this trend line, probably correct, and continue to the upside. Of course, these areas like this first TP, probably this is first, second, things like that. But now, for now, we're still in the middle of nowhere, so we can give it Monday because this is Bitcoin. It doesn't close, so we can say Monday is quite uh, risky for us because they never close. Bitcoin doesn't close, and it might be giving us a similar movement. As you can see, this correction, like I said, this was a reversal correction, and we had 3 touches on it, which is beautiful, clean, and nice, and then we had this nice impulse to the upside. So what I'm expecting maybe is just to wait for the market to see what it's doing, because we also have this potential pattern being formed here, of which I can just remove this and see if maybe from the downside I can, I don't know, but then I feel like this is not clean as I want it to be. But we can have things like that, Let me just see. Remember, do not force a pattern to happen in your charts. If there's no pattern, then just move on, So this is what I'm saying. As I'm waiting for the market to move, I'm waiting for it to just either impulse, break this area. That's when I'm going to enter my cells, continue to the downside, or break this entire trend line that I have here. And then you can possibly move towards these areas. This is probably going to be like our area of interest, like buy to these areas and so continue to the downside because we are still in our bearish market. And also this is a Dow bottom, so we can possibly move to the upside, and exactly if it breaks this trend, it's a confirmation to me that okay, we are respecting this Dow bottom because already we also have another Dow bottom within this Dow bottom, which is this one, like this Dow bottom. So our highs, this for me is like signifying buys, honestly. But we can just wait for it to confirm because it wouldn't kill us to wait for it to confirm. Would it now? It wouldn't, honestly. This is our TPs, be generous with your stop losses, I mean, because this is like for swing traders. And then, of course, if it gets to the point whereby it's here, now, me personally, I think I'll know that recession is coming to an end and we might be pushing to these heights because, of course, after recession, the United States is in recession now. After recession, we might push to these heights and potentially break and, create higher highs in the overall structure of Bitcoin, which is go to 100,000. People have been saying Bitcoin is going to 100,000 in the next 4 or 5 years. So honestly, I won't say I see it happening, but these people know what they're talking about. They've done their research. All I have to do is do mine and enter based on what I believe. So that's it for today, guys. I'll see you on the next video.